There we go. Did you get some sort of notification now? Yeah, that we're recording. Cool. Okay, I think we're going to get started. Yeah. I will start with sharing my screen and show you the Exhibitor Portal. There. I hope you're all able to see my screen now. So this is the first page you will get to when you'll first log into the Exhibitor Portal. The language is most likely in Norwegian when you first log in, but you just change it to English up here. Okay. I'll just have to give access to a few more people as we go here. Okay. The first page is the exhibitor details. This is where you just add your address and your public email address and the public phone number, which will be visible on your stand under the contact tab. Invoice, you don't really have to add your invoice address here as you already have it, so that's okay. Subject areas. This is where you select the subject areas in which you offer educations within. Some of you might have noticed that if you select a subject area here, a new list will appear next to it in Norwegian, unfortunately. This list isn't really meant to appear, but what this is actually occupations that are related to this specific subject area. And this is meant for the students to get an overview of, so they can see if they're interested in design, for example, they can see the occupations that are related to design. But you don't really have to think about this or have to read into this. Okay, then we have locations where most of you will be picking Europe and or the rest of the world, of course. And remember to save each time. So that was the exhibitor details. That was sort of part one, the smallest part. Should we do any questions related to that straight away in the chat? That's okay? Yeah. Okay, let's go to the content. Here, along here are the tabs where you will fill in or upload the information needed to create what is included in the standard digital stand. First, we have logo and top banner, which is very easy to upload. Here, upload here, and the same with your top banner there. If you click on the small information icon next to where it says logo and top banner, you will see the specifications. So the format which the logo should be in and the top banner should be. So this is very helpful. Also, this image on the side here will show you where the logo and where the top banner will be located on your stand. Then we go to description. So this is just the information text about your institution. Also, if you click here on the information icon, you will see how long this information text can be, and also where it will be visible on your stand. Then we have the films. And the first one here is the presentation URL, as it says. This is what will be showing on the front of your stand. So now I'm going to show you my example stand, which I have created here. And this film window here, this is the presentation film. And this is what you add here. Now here it's important that you add the correct code from the YouTube link. So all films that are to be used at the fair or in your on your stand must be available on YouTube. If by any chance you don't have a YouTube channel, I can always upload your films on our YouTube channels, and then we can create the required link from there. So just let me know afterwards if you want me to do this for you and send me your films. If you click on the information, if you click again on the information symbol here, it will tell you, it's a bit of echo now. I hope everyone can mute their microphone so we avoid the echo. Here it will show you where and how to add the link for your presentation film. Here's an example that will show you the correct code from YouTube. Actually, this isn't such a good example, to be honest. Let's see if I can find a different example. This isn't really, this isn't always so easy to understand. But here we have a typical YouTube link, and the correct code, which is to be added in your Exhibitor Portal, are those symbols you can see up there only. Only these symbols that come after the equal sign. So these symbols here, you will copy and paste in here. Yeah. And if you click on the play symbol here, you can actually check that the film has been added correctly. If it's playing here. Here you have the chance to add a number 2 presentation film if you would like to change which film you would like to show during the fair by clicking here. Then we have the film to the film carousel, which is to be added exactly the same way using the correct code from YouTube. The film for the film carousel can last for, or should last for, 20 seconds. If you add a film which is longer than 20 seconds, it will automatically be cut off after 20 seconds in the film carousel. Now, perhaps many of you don't really know what the film carousel is, but that's actually a collection of short films from all exhibitors that participate at the fair, and the visitors will be strongly advised to watch the film carousel the first time they log in to get a full overview of all the exhibitors and get introduced to everyone. During the film carousel, they can mark their favorite films or favorite exhibitors with emojis, and that way they can see the favorite exhibitors on my page and then make a plan for which exhibitors they would like to visit during the fair. So I strongly advise that all of you do add a film for the film carousel so that you are included in the carousel, and make this very short, of course, and as attractive as you can to create some interest from the visitors. Yes. Under here, there's the option of ordering a longer lasting film in the film carousel, 30 or 40 seconds. You can order here. The prices for this you can see if you click on the see prices here. You will be taken to our website where the prices for all additional content is included, and then you have to tick in this box here and save if you would like to do that. Now, any questions about the films? So let's see here. 20 seconds is incredibly short, and the shortest video you have access to is 1 minute. For now, I have just added this 1 minute video and we'll cut off after. Yeah, that's okay. As I mentioned earlier, if you add a longer lasting film, it will just automatically be stopped after 20 seconds. So that's fine if you add a longer film. For your information, the presentation film over here, that can actually last for up to 3 minutes. So that's a lot longer, the one that we'll be showing on the front of your stand. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, if this seems clear to everyone, I will go on. No, you won't be invoiced for this. The 20 seconds is what is included in the standard stand. If you add 30 or 40 seconds, it's an additional cost. Okay, let's go on to social media, which is pretty straightforward. You just add the links to the social media channels you use. There's a couple of new ones down the bottom here, TikTok and Snapchat, which has been added here recently. And then we have educations, which you quite simply can add by clicking here. The title of your education, and here you can add the link to more information about that education on your website and a description. And here again, you can select the subject field that education belongs to. Many of you are large universities probably and have a lot of different educations, and you might not be able to add all of them here. Then I would suggest that you maybe select the most popular ones, or the most or the ones that you really want to recruit to, perhaps. So maybe just select 10 different ones, or maybe you can group them into categories or something like that. There's another question here. The presentation video can also be a general one. It does not. Yes, that's right. You choose whatever film you would like to have as your presentation film. So that was the educations. Then we have frequently asked questions, where you can add, I think it's up to 10 different questions by doing this, your question there, and the answer, and click done afterwards to save. If you click on the information icon up here, it will tell you the length of the question and the length of the answer. There's a question here. How do we add the programs on the educations part of the subpages? Yes, 10 questions. I'm not sure what you mean. How do we add the programs on the education's part of Katarine? Is it Katarine Reg? Do you mean have you added subpages to your stand? You can also put on your microphone if you would like. Yes. Then I can show you that after when we get to subpages. Yep. That was frequently asked questions, so that's pretty straightforward. Then we have downloads, where you can download PDFs if you have, say, catalogs or brochures you would like to make available on your stand. So you just add material there. That's also very easy. Then over here we have placement and profile color. The profile color is also something that has been or become available quite recently. This means that you can actually choose the color on some of the items on your stand. For example, let's see here, if you click here and you would like to go something green there and save. Then we can take a look at my example stand, how that will look like when it's green. There. Then you can see the parts of the stand that will change color down here. And this is free of charge. You can just do this if you would like to. Maybe you can choose the color that fits your profile or your logo or something like that. And then we have placement. If you have managed to add several items on your stand, such as you've added webinars perhaps, or subpages and so on, you can actually choose where on your stand this should be placed. We can do an example. At the moment, I have added a webinar, which is placed under my information text. As we can see here, let's see here. My webinars are under here. Now I can choose to make my webinars visible on the left-hand side here instead, if I click there and save. See if that worked. And now you can see that the webinars changed location to this side menu here. This can be handy to make most of your content as visible as possible, so that everything doesn't end up under the information text, because then students might have to scroll a lot to get to the bottom and see all the content on your stand. So this is something you can just play around with. It doesn't cost anything to do this, and just remember to save each time, and then take a preview of your stand and see how it looks like. Let's see some questions. Is there a maximum file size on the downloads? No, I don't think so. Or a naming convention to follow. I can't upload files at the moment. Okay, is this PDF files? Because I think PDFs is the only type of documents you can download at the moment. Carl has this question. Perhaps you can email me about this afterwards, Carl, and I can take a look at the downloads and what we can do to fix it. And then, so our webinar is something that we had to pay extra for. I will get to the webinar section very soon. Okay, yeah, email me about the uploads, Carl. So the last tab here is something called Searchability. And here you can add search words in which you would like to be found on if students search these words in the exhibition hall. Here I think you could use, perhaps it's good if you use Norwegian words here, because most of the students would be searching in Norwegian. I can help you with some translations if you like, or perhaps you have Norwegian students at your institution at the moment that can also help you. I'm just saying this because it's a lot of international exhibitors, and it might take me a while to help you all with translations. If you all send me your translations or the words you would like to get translated afterwards, perhaps you have Norwegian students that can help you. But of course, I will try to help all of you as well with this. Recommendations here for search words. Let's see, there's someone else coming. I would pick some of the educations or keywords from your educations as search words, maybe such as medicine, if you're from medicine, nursing or design or management, or maybe pick the search words from the educations that are most popular, that you believe most of the students would search for. Psychology is very popular, I think. Maybe that's one you could use. Other search words, I would maybe use the country you're from. So England, Spain, in Norwegian. Maybe you are able to figure out better search words yourself, but that's sort of my recommendations at the moment anyway, to become searchable and found in the exhibitor hall. Let's see if there's some questions. Google Translate, yes, that's also a good one to use. Okay, so if you have gone through all these tabs up here now and added your content, you have created a standard digital stand. We can take a look at my example stand again. So what you see up here now is sort of the standard content, the logo, the top banner, the information text, and the tabs up here. They are, of course, in Norwegian here because the visitors are Norwegian, but I can quickly run through what they are in English. First one, information text. Second, utdanningen means educations. Vanlige spørsmål means the frequently asked questions. Material, this is the downloadable material you can add. Then we have webinars. Films, extra films, this is additional content I should add. Undersider, that's subpages, which we will get to a bit later. And then the contact tab. Yeah. Another very important function on your stand is this button here, which says "Jeg vil vite mer." Translated, it means I would like to know more, or I would like more information. If students click here, they can select the questions or the subjects you have added here. I will show you this afterwards. So you can. This is just examples of alternatives you can add for students to require more information about. So they would click here. Okay. They can also ask their own question here if they have a different inquiry for you, and then save. Lagre means save. So when students do this, you will actually obtain their contact details in the Exhibitor Portal under Leads Manager, which I will show you now. So Leads Manager you can find under here. And here you can see the alternatives which I have added on my stand, which you can see when you clicked here. These ones you add here. So you just click on the plus symbol there, and then enter your topic or question there and save each time. Yeah. On the side here, you will be able to see the registered users, meaning the students that have registered their interest on your stand by doing that. This is a test, like I've tested this on my own stand, which is why I can see my own name and my email address here. Before you will obtain access to the students' details, you will have to tick off here, which means that you accept that you take over the responsibility of processing their personal data. If you don't do that, you won't be able to see this section here. Okay, I think there's some questions here now. Can you show us the placement and profile tab again? Mine doesn't seem to be working. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Then you go to content. And the second last tab here is called placement and profile color. Are you able to see that now, Adrian? I apologize if I pronounce names wrong.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes, good. Then Sophia has a question regarding description. I think you mentioned we could check Europe. Should it not be all of the Norwegian regions? Do you now mean, Sophia, do you mean here, the locations? Maybe you're mixing it up with the various regions. Yes. Maybe you're mixing it up with the various regions for the fairs. In this section of the Exhibitor Portal, you will select the regions of the world where you are located, your institution. So you would be the rest of the world, because since you are in the US. And these regions you see on top here, yes, they are the same as the fair regions, but that's just also the way we have divided up the country for the national exhibitors. I hope that answered your question, Sophia.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. And there's another one. A concern with the chat pop-up. It seems when people visit our page, there is automatically a pop-up message. Yeah, as this message comes up in Norwegian, yes, you can change your welcome message in the chat to become different, or like the way you want it to be. Is it possible? Yes, it is. I will explain that. Well, maybe we should do that straight away. Well, I think I now have explained to you how the Leads Manager work and how that's connected to this function on your stand. Before I go on to these questions, there's also a new function called Make an Appointment here, which you can see I have added under here. Here it says in Norwegian, it says "Vil du avtale et møte," and it means would you like to schedule a meeting. This is a new function that you can all use for free this time. If I'm a student and I click on this function, I will also see various alternatives similar to the I would like to know more function. And here I have added these alternatives, like I would like to schedule a meeting after the fair, for example. I'm interested in that. Okay, and save. And then if I go back into the Exhibitor Portal, I will be able to see the name and the email address of the students who would like to schedule a meeting with me. So this function works very similar to this function here, and you just add your alternatives here and save them. Again, you have to click up here to obtain the personal contact information for the students. And I believe this would be quite useful, especially for international exhibitors, because maybe students would like to schedule a meeting with you together with their parents in the evening or something like that. So that's something you could all try. So that was that. Now we're going to go to the chat function, because that's where someone had some questions. I will get to the welcome message very, very soon, but I'm just going to do this from sort of from scratch. I'm going to sign out here. So when you click on chats in your Exhibitor Portal, it will look like this. You will obtain a blank window, and then you're meant to sort of sign in by just writing your name. Continue. And then you have to select the correct region here. So now many of you are going to participate in Eastern Norway 1 coming up this week. So you will click there to obtain an overview of the chats. And you can answer the chats that will occur from that region. Here I have a stand chat, and the stand chat is this chat window that appears here on my stand. We call that the stand chat. I can send myself a test message here. And then you will see the messages coming in here. And you can answer here. Yeah. Also, I have created a chat for a representative with my name on it. And the chats that come that appear to this chat will come. You will see them here. And the representative chat is visible here on your stand. I will show you how to do this very shortly. If you have added a webinar, which I will get back to soon, you will also have a webinar chat. If you would like to, you can activate or deactivate this chat. I have also added subpages on my stand, which means that I can also have a chat for each subpage. Now, if you go down to settings, you can see the various chats on my stand, and here you can activate or deactivate these chats for each region. And this is very important that you go in here before the fair and check that the chats you would like to use are activated. That's very important. For example, if I would like to deactivate my subpages chat, I would just do this. And then the chat there will disappear. Now, if you haven't added a webinar or if you haven't added subpages, then you won't see these chats here either. But as soon as you add these elements on your stand, they will appear here, and then you can decide if you want to activate them or not. And here you can add representatives and a photo. I think someone was wondering about that. I have added one there. I can show you how to add another one. So you just click on add there, name, and a short description. Perhaps it's a student. And you upload a photo there. I'm going to just pick the same photo again. There. Now, if you would like to create separate logins for representatives that are going to answer the chat for you, such as if you have student ambassadors or something like that, you can click on the enable login here. Then you can use the email address for that student, or you can even create a fake email address. It doesn't really matter. what it is, because it's just to create a login. You can just do something like that. And a password can be a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or anything you would like. Then you have to take note of this login here and send it to the student so that he or she can log in and obtain access to the chat function only. So this means that they won't obtain access to the rest of your Exhibitor portal, so they can't go and change anything there. So that can be quite useful if you want to avoid them having access to everything. Now I can choose to put the new representative, which is just called name and student, also on the stand by doing this drag and drop in there. Let's have a look at my stand now. If 2 sets of me appears here, not yet, because it's probably not activated yet. Let's see. Okay, so you have to go and make sure that the new representative becomes activated by doing this. And now you can see 2 pictures of me. 2 representatives have appeared on the stand. Now students can choose to send a chat message to each of these representatives by clicking here. Here's also a welcome message you can change, or by clicking here. And you will obtain the overview of these chats by going back here. Eastern Norway. And now you can see that I have 2 representative chats. The new one I added is down there. Let's see if I can do a little test here. And now you can see that I just sent a test to the second representative. And in the Exhibitor portal, you can see a red 1 symbol there, which means that you have received a new chat message. Click there, and then you will see the chat message appearing here, and you can answer here. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you where to change the welcome message, which was a question. Then you just click on the symbol here, this sort of round little symbol. And here you can, in addition to changing the welcome message, you can also activate desktop notifications or email notifications, which will notify you when you obtain new chat messages from the fair. But here you can change the welcome message. So this is the one I have chosen for my stand at the moment, and here you can change it to whatever you want. Change here and save. Remember to save each time. And this you can do for all the chats on your stand. You can have one welcome message for the stand chat, and you can have a different one if you like for the representative chats. You just add it in there. Right. And the same for the webinar chat and Subpages chat if you have all these. Did that answer your question, Roy? I'm sorry about the pronunciation.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's another question. Let's see. Yes, Lucy are wondering about the GDPR regulations. What the regulations are for that contact. Can you explain what the regulations are for that contact? Do we need to add in our own statement to be, or is there a standard policy? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we can go back to that. Up here. You don't have to add your own statement anywhere here in the Exhibitor portal for the privacy, for the GDPR. But what we have said here, if you read this sentence, if we believe it necessary, we must send information to visitors about how we handle their personal information in accordance with GDPR. And this is something you really must consider yourself, depending on what type of information you're planning to send them, how much, how often, Are you planning to add them to your database to receive heaps of newsletters? Perhaps you need to obtain their consent first. That's what we mean with this sentence. But if you are simply answering or following up with them relating to exactly what they were interested in, and according to how they would like to be contacted, then I don't think you need to do anything further, do anything else than that. So I hope that answered that question, Lucy. Okay, how long do the leads stay in the platform here? At the moment, there's no time limit for this. They will be available there for you for many weeks, as far as I know. But this is something we will probably get back to exhibitors regarding a little bit later. But for now, you don't have to rush. They will be there. Leads. Can you show me how the placement and profile tab works? Okay, we answered that already, I think. Just let me know if that was a problem, or if someone has problems gaining access to any of these tabs, which I have been showing you.
You showed me, I know where it is, but I can't make it work.
Okay. You are here. Placement and profile color. And what is it that doesn't work?
When I save it, it just goes back to the original settings.
Oh, so have you tried picking a different color? And
yeah, I've tried 3 or 4 times.
Okay, then I might just have to check this myself and log into your Exhibitor Portal and find out what's wrong. So if you email me afterwards, I will look into that, because I can't really tell you why that wouldn't work.
Okay,
because it should work. Yeah. Okay, I think that was that. There's more questions. Okay, someone has to leave. That's okay. Is there an additional charge to add an additional representative? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's go back to chats. Settings. No, you can add as many representatives you would like to along here. You can have 10 or whatever. And that's if you're going to have different representatives answering the chat question, answering the chat questions at different times during the fair, because then it's easy for you to just delete these representatives here, and then for the next fair you want to add this one instead, and so on. So that's okay, as long as it's just as it's only one representative logged in at the same time. But if you're planning to be more than one logged in at the same time, you need to order additional users up here, which you can do by, let's do Eastern Norway 1. You click in there, and then you can increase it to 2 simultaneous users, which means that you're ordering one more, and then you have to save here. And that means that you can be 2 representatives logged in here at the same time, and help each other to answer the various chat questions that might appear here. I hope that makes sense. For most of you, I think you should be okay with just having one simultaneous user, at least to begin with. And if you find that you have too many questions at the same time, you can always add another user later on, and then get another colleague in to help you. If you're going to be several different representatives logged in and out during the fair, it's very important that each representative log out here where it says sign out before the next representative can log in. If you fail to do that, the next representative actually won't be able to log in. I hope that answered that question. Yes, the subpages. Yes, we can get to that, because I haven't actually explained the other additional content yet. We go back to content. Subpages, That's additional pages to your stand, which you can add to obtain more space, really, for more information. As you can see, I have added 2 subpages examples here, and they look like this. I'm going to remove this one. They will be visible under here. It says Undersidor, which means subpages. And there's one subpages example, and there's the other one. They're also available up here in this tab up here called Undersidor. If you go into one, I haven't added a lot of content on my subpages, but they do actually have pretty much the same content as the main stand. So here you can also add description for the subpage, educations, if that's relevant, frequently asked questions, downloadable material, and so on. I'm going to go back there. So let's pretend I'm going to add another subpage. You add the title here and a description in there. Let's going to do this. Here you can add a separate presentation film if you like, or maybe just reuse the one from your stand. Up here you have to cross off for ordering this additional content, and also select the regions in which you would like that subpage to be visible. If you decide to order a subpage, I would think that you would like to have the subpage in all regions. That's why these are automatically ticked off, all of them. And then you just go along these tabs here to add the information. Social media, educations. I know there was a question about the educations here, how you could add them or change them, I guess. But here you will see the education that appear here will be exactly the same education you added to the main stand. So from here, you can decide if you want to remove some of them or if you want to keep them. And that's how you add really the educations to your subpages. See if you do. Well, at the moment, maybe this is why there was a question. At the moment, it seems to be a little bit difficult to edit the educations from here. It doesn't seem like you can delete them. I might have to look into that because this was possible before. Was that what the question was regarding earlier? Someone was asking about the educations on the subpages, I think. I can't find the question again now because it's been quite a few. If you were wondering about this, you can email me also afterwards, and I will look into this, because it seemed to be a little bit of a problem at the moment to delete educations from the subpages.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I couldn't add the educations because when I enter to the subpage, it doesn't show the same that you are showing at this moment.
Okay.
I can send you a screenshot later on by email if you want.
Sure. Have you actually added the educations to your main stand?
I believe so, yeah.
Because to be able to see educations here, you first need to add your educations here on the main stand.
Okay.
So just check that you have first.
Okay, I'll check it. Thank you.
Okay. So that was the subpage. I'm just going to go into one of the previously added subpages. You can add a separate or new top banner and a logo for the subpage. Subpages could be used for maybe adding information about specific educations or faculties or campuses. Perhaps some of you have campuses around the world, and you could create a subpage for that if you would like. Then we have, I'm just going to go through the rest of the menu on the left-hand side here, so we don't miss anything. Oh, perhaps there's more questions. How can we copy and paste from a Word doc into the chat box? Can we copy? Yes, you can. That's been tried before, so that's possible. Lucy is wondering more about the GDPR. We could provide a link to our terms and conditions in the topic box of the Leads Manager in that case and get additional consent. I'm not quite sure what you mean about that, Lucy. Perhaps you want to send me an email regarding that question afterwards. Some more people have problems with the color, changing the color. That means I'll have to check that a bit further afterwards and find out if that's a problem for several exhibitors. Technical support during the fair, yes, you just have to email me, really, and I will help you as soon as I can. The chats of the subpages, do they work separately from the chat of the main booth? Yes, kind of, as I showed you. If you have added subpages on your stand, you will see a subpage chat separately here. Yeah. But first you have to make sure that you have activated the chats for your subpages along here. I hope that answered your question, Jordi from Spain. How do we add options? Yes, I think I showed you that before for the requiring more information function. Then you go to Leads Manager and you go to the More Information tab here and you add your questions here and save. And this function is related to, I'm going to show you my stand again, this button here. Jeg vil vite mer. I would like to know more. Okay, and then about the educations again, you couldn't add educations because it doesn't allow you to. Go back here, content, educations. Katarina, are you here? And it doesn't want to allow you to add here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you adding the information here and you click save?
I didn't do it yet, but I think the problem is that
you can't save?
No, I can save it, but the problem is that the information is not in the main booth, in the main page. So I cannot add it to the sub page because of that. Yeah.
Right,
so
right. Okay.
Everything is solved now. Thank you.
Okay. I think that was it for the questions now. Let's go back to the menu on the left-hand side. We go to related exhibitors. This is a free function as well. Just if you wanted to show on your stand that you have perhaps a partnership or a collaboration with other exhibitors at the fair. And you will see the other exhibitors here. And then you can add the ones that are relevant for you. If you have added exhibitors that you don't want to be related to after all, you can just remove them by doing this. Yeah. And then we have webinars and live streams. Webinars, they are pre-recorded webinars or films that can be uploaded here. We offer everyone one free webinar that can last for 3 minutes. And that webinar you add by doing this here. You add the title to the webinar, a description of the webinar, and then the code to the webinar film here when this becomes ready. Also, again, it has to be available on YouTube and you have to add the correct code from the YouTube link here for it to become visible. These last fields here, you don't have to worry about because this is only if you are planning to do a live stream instead of a webinar. Then you need to select a time. But it's important that if you are adding a normal pre-recorded webinar here, you are not supposed to select time. If you do so, it will appear wrongly in the fair. Up here, you also have to cross off for the that you confirm that you order the product, but you won't be invoiced for the first webinar you add because that is free. If you add several additional webinars, you will be charged and they can last for up to 15 minutes. Also, again, check that the regions you want to order the webinar for are ticked off here, or remove ticks if you don't want to order it for all the regions. Here you can pick a separate logo and top banner for the webinar, or this will be automatically picked from your stand if you don't choose anything here. Now I'm going to show you my example stand again. And as you can see, I have added my pre-recorded webinar is this one you can see here, which is called webinar example. This is what a pre-recorded webinar will look like on your stand. And also these webinars you add here will be available in the webinar program for the fair, which we can take a look at here. So here, all your webinars will also be available for visitors. And they can find different types of webinars by using the filtering function up here. So that's a good way of becoming more visible at the fair. So that's really recommended. Let's see if I can get back to my stand. There we go. So that's the pre-recorded webinar, which you add doing this. Then we have subpages, which we have already gone through. We have something called open house here. That's just a opportunity for you to use the digital stand you are now preparing for holding your own digital event after the fairs, if you're interested in doing that in Norway, such as an open house or an open day. And this is something that we will inform you about further a bit later on. Then we have video clips. This is just additional films if you would like to show even more films on your stand. Let's see here. I haven't actually. Oh, yeah, there's an example of my additional video, which will be visible like this. This is charged if you order this. Very easy to add. You just add the title and a description, and again the correct code for the film from YouTube. And then we have something called group meetings and live webinars, which is important that you know the difference and know how to add this to your stand. Group meetings, they are live video meetings which you can create here. They have a maximum participation number of 20 students that can participate at the group meetings. And they can participate using their camera and microphone so that you can talk or they can ask questions. Live webinar is very similar. It's also a live video meeting, but students cannot participate using their camera and microphone. So it's only you that can talk and do a presentation, but they can ask questions in the chat instead. And the maximum participant number here is 100, so it's a lot bigger. But both of them are created here in the Exhibitor Portal, and both of them are, as I mentioned, they're live video meetings, which you start them from here as well. So you're wondering if I was going to tell you something more about that. I'll show you quickly how you add a new one. Click on Add there. You have to confirm that you order up there, the title, description again, and here it's important that you select a time, since this is a live event, so that you can show students when you are planning to have the group meeting or the live webinar. And also down here you choose if you want to arrange a group meeting, which is the smaller version, or the live webinar, also called a lecture. And then you select a time here. We suggest or recommend that you have the same group meeting or live webinar twice per day, once before lunch or once before 12 and once after, just to give students, most of the students, the possibility of attending your group meetings, because they will visit the fair before or after 12, most of them. If any of these subject areas are relevant for the group meeting or live webinar, you can also tick off for them. I'm going to go back here to the ones I have created. So if you have created a group meeting, such as this one here, of course you have to remember the time you have set up for the group meeting and start the group meeting in time, so a few minutes before. And you start it simply by clicking on this symbol here. It will start like this. And here you will just have to remember to turn on your camera and your microphone and click the green button here. It says in Norwegian here, participate in meeting. So now I have started the meeting and I can wait here for students to appear. If you click on the person's icon down there, you will be able to see the students that come in or that would like to be part of your meeting, and you will have to give them access to the meeting. And here's also a waiting list. So if there's more than 20 students, then the 21st student won't be able to be admitted into the meeting. That's the group meeting. Let's go back here. Yeah, and it's very important that when the group meeting is finished, that you click on the leave meeting symbol down here. Unfortunately, it says in Norwegian, but this means leave meeting here, and close the tab up here. If you don't do this, it will appear at the fair that your meeting is still live. So it's important that you close and close the meeting properly. If you have added a live webinar instead, you start it exactly the same way by clicking here. And you click on the green button again to get started. And then students will automatically join the meeting, and you don't have to give them access, because this can fit in 100 participants. So they will just automatically join your meeting, but then they can't say anything. They can only listen, but they can ask questions in the chat, where you can also respond to the questions, either in the chat or by erasing the questions for everyone, like I'm doing here. That can be very useful as well. Again, important that you click on the leave meeting icon down here and close the tab up here to get back to your Exhibitor Portal. We offer all exhibitors the opportunity to try a group meeting for free during the first fair you participate in. So if Eastern Norway 1, for example, is the first fair you're going to attend this week, you can create a group meeting and try it out for that region. And then you can actually have that group meeting twice each day of the fair. We strongly recommend that you try that, or even if you want to do a live webinar instead, which will be charged, because live content seems to be very popular among the students. We had a similar, as some of you know, we had a similar student fair in Sweden before Christmas, where students were very, very interested in the live content, meaning the group meetings and the live webinars. So I think that would also increase traffic for you and on your stand. Now I'm sure there's some questions about this. Let's see here. Okay, there's some questions about chat here. How do we control the chat area the day of the event? Is it from the back office account or the public site? Well, I guess it is from what you call the back office account. It's from here, the Exhibitor Portal, where I'm showing you now. You need to be here. You need to go to chats. You need to click on the correct region, and then your chats will appear here. and this is where you answer the chats. I hope that answered your question, Konstantinos. Notice board, yes, I maybe forgot to mention that. Notice board, this is just an internal notice board for you and your colleagues who might be logged in here during the fair. So you could leave messages for your colleagues, maybe tell them when and where they should be logged in or what they should do when they are logged in. And also here's an internal group chat, which really is relevant if you are going to be more than one person logged in here at the same time. Then you can chat with each other and maybe agree on who's going to answer the stand chat, who's going to answer the representative chat, or chat about anything else you might want to. So this is only for internal usage, while the chats with the students you will find over here. Yep, I hope that sounds okay. My representatives are only shown on top. I can't drag them down. Okay, I guess you, same person, Konstantinos, you are here. The trick to drag and drop here, I'm going to remove this one here. You have to click on the arrows here. Click, and then drag around there, and like that. You can't drag by clicking on the photo. That doesn't work. You have to click on the arrows here. It's a bit of a trick. And same, you can do that and put that into the subpages by doing that. How do we remove add partners from related exhibitors? I think I showed that previously, Sophia. Related exhibitors, add there and remove, like that. What else? What else? The free offer was for the first fair, or could we reuse it for Eastern Norway? The free offer, do you then mean the free group meeting by any chance, or do you mean something else? The group meeting, which is for free, is only for the first fair. If you want to continue using group meetings at the next fairs, you need to pay for the function. The free webinar, however, which can last for 3 minutes, you can have for free in all regions. I hope that answered that question. Webinar is essentially another pre-recorded video from YouTube. Yes, the pre-recorded webinar is essentially a pre-recorded film, and that could be really anything you would like to use. Maybe you have a pre-recorded promotional video you can use, or perhaps you would like to make a webinar beforehand where you do a presentation, so it's more like a real webinar, but it's up to you what you want to use here. But as long as the recorded film or the webinar is available on YouTube. Okay, someone has to leave. People are busy, I can see. Okay, here's another question. Can you interchange between group meeting and live webinar? You can't change it in the middle of a meeting, Sophia. But if you would like to change it from a group meeting to a live webinar later that day or the next day, that's possible. I can show you how. So here I have created a group meeting. If I click on this symbol here, I can edit the group meeting. So here you can edit the text or a description if you like to do that. And then here you can change it to become a live webinar instead. And of course, remember to save here. You can also change the times down here. But this won't be visible straight away on your stand. So you'd have to do this a little bit in advance. But you can certainly do it for the next session later that day, or for the next session the following day. You can change it. But please note that the group meeting is what is free at the first fair, while live webinars will be charged. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe I misunderstood your question, Sophia. Yes, you can have both group meetings and live webinars, of course. Let's go back here. As you can see here, I have added an example group meeting here, and here's an example live webinar. And both of them will be showing on my stand. As you can see, here is the example group meeting, and here's the example live webinar. So you can certainly have both. Maybe just make sure that they don't crash in time-wise. And then both of these, both the group meeting and the live webinar, will be available in the live program for the fair, where they will also find it. So by adding live content like this, you will actually become more visible for the visitors at the fair, because they can find you in the live program, and they can find you also in the webinar program, of course, if you have added the pre-recorded webinar. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. Okay. Yeah, several people have to leave, I understand. Okay, the group meeting schedules, are they for 2 days or only 1 day? Then I guess you mean if you have added a group meeting here and the times here, this will be showing for both days at the fair. If you by any chance would like to change it, you can change the time. But if you wanted to remove the group meeting altogether, you have to actually notify us, because once you have clicked on the ordering button here, it will be kind of be locked in, and you won't be able to delete or get rid of your group meeting without us helping you to do that. I hope that answered your questions, Eleanor. And then another question. The first webinar is free and the first group meeting is free, correct? Can you explain again the difference between a group meeting and a live webinar? Yes, we can do that again. Go back here. Group meeting can fit in only 20 students. If more than 20 students would like to attend, they won't fit in. During a group meeting, students can participate with microphone and camera, so they can talk to you, they can ask questions. But there's also a chat option to the group meetings. A live webinar is much bigger because they can fit in 100 participants, but the students participating cannot have the camera or microphone, so they can't talk. They can only send you questions in the chat. So you will be the only one that can talk and present. And there's a price difference as well if you order and order these things. I understand that it's very this can be confusing, the difference between these things, and also the difference between a live webinar and a webinar. But I hope I have explained this clearly now. Okay, another question. The stand chat does not show on the first page. I have activated my session and dragged myself to the stand. Okay. I'll take a look at that. That's okay. I can't see who is asking this question from Institut Français, for the French Institute. I'm not going to try to speak French here. But now I'm visiting your stand, the French stand, and your stand chat is visible here. So that seems to be working fine. You have activated, you have put a representative on your stand, which isn't visible here. Then I'm guessing that you might have to just go back to that section in the Exhibitor Portal and check that it has been activated. Sometimes you have to go back once more and activate those boxes, which I showed you on settings here. So if you have dragged a representative into your stand like this, you need to make sure that these boxes are ticked off. You can try that first, and if you're still having that problem, I can look into that for you afterwards. How do we add options for, yep, I think I have answered that already. And several people have to leave. Will the group meeting be free on all 2 days of the first fair? Yes, they will be. If you want to continue having group meetings at the following fairs, or if you would like to add more than just the one group meetings, meaning you can have several group meetings with different subjects, different titles, that would also be charged. How do we control the chat area? Yes, I think I'm reading old questions now. Okay, another question. Do the students have access to our information only during the scheduled fair times? No, they can use the fair and log into the fair portal anytime, really. And the information on your stand and your pre-recorded webinars, for example, will be available for them anytime. It's only the live functions at the fair that won't be available after the opening hours. So obviously they won't be able to attend group meetings, or they won't be able to obtain answers to their chat messages after the opening hours. Let's see. Can't get them. Okay, the French Institute. I can help you with that afterwards if you still can't get your representative showing on your stand. Perhaps if you are doing a preview of your stand, you may have to make sure that you're selecting the correct region. That could maybe be why. If you look up here, you have a preview exhibitor stand. And up here, you have to select the correct region. And I think sometimes you need to do that to be able to see the chats. Maybe that could help. Okay, several people have to leave. No, I don't think I can see any other new questions, and I'm very sorry if I have overlooked your question. Feel free to put your microphone on and tell me if so. Okay, seems like you are. It seems like you are okay. And I will send the recording to everyone afterwards. Yes. I don't think there's anything else I need to show you right now. My tips to become, more visible at the fair and attract more traffic is really, first thing is to have an attractive, attention-grabbing film in the film carousel. Second is to have live content at the fair, such as group meetings or live webinars. And lastly, try to use the search tags wisely, so that you will be found if students search on those words. I think that's the tips I can give you at the moment. Okay, I think that's all then. If there's no other questions, I will stop the recording.